All right, you guys, so I'm going to show you how to take a mixed number, and I'll show you what that even means. This is actually a 5th grade standard, so you've probably seen this before, but I want to show you how to take a mixed number to an improper fraction, okay? And like I said, this was a 5th grade standards. You may have gotten it, you may not have gotten it, so that's why I'm showing you now. Okay, some of you guys that have finished the level 5 on our Learning Target 2 assessment, you already know how to do this. So, say for instance, a mixed number would be something like 1 2/3. The reason why we call it mixed is because you have a whole number and then you have a fraction. Okay, let's write this down. Okay, so you're gonna have a whole number. In fact, let's make it a little bit thinner so that it's easier to see. So this one right here is what you call your whole number. And yes, I want you writing this stuff down. And this one a fraction. So that's why we call it mixed, because it has 2 different types of numbers. Okay? And then we have a second kind of fraction, which is an improper fraction, something like, we'll say 12/9. We call it improper because the top, the numerator, is bigger than the denominator. So it's improper. It is not proper because one is bigger than the other. So let's go ahead and write that little note so that we remember. So we're going to say the numerator is larger than the denominator. Okay, so that is why we call them improper fractions. Okay, so let's go ahead and as soon as you have this down, I want you to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to actually convert them, because that is our goal. Okay, so we're going to start out with something like 2 4/5. Okay. The first thing I want you always to do if you are converting is to draw 2 different arrows. Okay, in fact, I'm going to make this second arrow a different color so you can see. Okay, for the first part, we're going to multiply, and then the second part, we're going to end up adding. Okay, so in this case, we're going to say 2 times 5 is 10. So we have 2 times 5 is 10. You don't necessarily have to write this, or you're going to write it down, but when you're actually doing it, you don't actually have to write every little step down. 2 times 5 is 10. And then we're going to take that 10 and we're going to add 4 to it, since that's the numerator. So 10 plus 4 is 14. So our mixed or our improper fraction is now 14 because we multiplied then added. And then we always leave our denominator the same. So if this is 5, we're going to leave that 5. So our denominator stays the same. So that is our final answer. That is our improper fraction. Okay, let's do a couple of more just to practice. And then we are going to have you do some on your own. Sorry, that's my ring. All right, so we're going to do 3 2/7. And we're also going to be solving 1 3/8. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take this first one, 3 2/7, pause the video, and see if you can solve it. And then I want you to answer the question that will come after it. Okay, so let's see what you did here. We should be multiplying, and then we should be adding. That is our goal. So for our first one, we are multiplying 3 times 7, which gives you 21. And then we are going to add 21 to the numerator, which is 2. So 21 plus 2 is 23. So once you do that, don't forget your final answer is going to be a 23 on the top. And whatever was our denominator, that is what we are going to put for our denominator. So it will be 7. So in this case, the improper fraction is 23/7. You know you did it right because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay, so try this other one, 1 3/8, and then I want you to go ahead and answer the question that is going to go after this. Let's check our work. We are doing 1 times 8. And then after that, we are going to add 3 to that answer. Okay? So let's go ahead and check it and see if we have the correct answer. We did 8 times 1, which equals 8. And then we have that 8, and we're going to add it to the numerator, which is 3. So when we are all said and done, we end up with 3. I'm sorry, not 3. Forgot to add it. 11. So we're going to have 11 as our numerator. And then remember, our denominator stays the same. So in this case, our denominator was 8. So our denominator remains 8. You're going to have a series of practice problems that you're going to be working on. And I want to make sure that you write these things out. So make sure you're using your paper to write these things out. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to write you some, or show you some examples, or give you some examples or practice problems. Okay, the first one is 4 3/4. You're going to turn that into an improper fraction. So go ahead and do that, and then I want you to answer the question after. What is this as an improper fraction? Next, I want you to be working on 5 2/11. Go ahead and make that into an improper fraction, and then answer the question that precedes it. Let's keep working. Next, you're going to be working on the next one. I want you to make an improper fraction, which is 2 3/5. Go ahead and work that one out, and then I want you to check your answer by answering the question. And then you're going to be working on 7 2/3. So go ahead and make that into an improper fraction, and then I want you answering the question after. So don't forget, in order to make a mixed number, you're going to change it into an improper fraction. The first thing you do is you're going to multiply, right, the whole number and denominator. That's step 1. The second thing you are going to do is add the numerator to your multiplied answer. Okay, that's important. You're going to add that. And then you are going to, after that, you are going to create an improper fraction. Okay. And you're going to have your answer on top, and underneath you're going to have the same denominator that you started with. Denominator. Let me try that again. Okay, so those are the 3 steps. You always multiply, then add, then you create your new fraction.